I want to do a podcast about bags.
I'm not stopping. Bags?
Yeah, mailbags.
Or she.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. Are you interested?
What? So there are bags full of men?
Or she.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. So a mailbag episode then.
Yeah. I've put a post out on social media asking for questions, but no one responded, so I've just asked all our friends.
Right, I'm in.
Should we do one now? Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle. My name's Simon and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, and we are delving deep into our sacks again for the second part of our second ever mailbag of the podcast. So this week we are continuing to share feedback, address questions that have been asked from our loyal listeners, some of whom we didn't even bribe. So strap yourselves in as answers ensue as we open the Movie the Needle mailbag. Alrighty, let's get back to some questions, but first it's time to unveil the second ale. Oh, you've already unveiled it, so just pass me the ale. There you go. Yeah. That's less dramatic. Oh, huge.
That's what she said.
Did she do?
She did not.
No. Right, so whilst we crack the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, brewed in... Is it definitely?
Nigeria?
Yeah. It is. Oh, wait, no.
Lagos. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Because I was so impressed.
Home bargains, mate. Home bargains.
I am genuinely amazed. You pour in this one. Is this a fresh glass?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're good. Don't want to be doing last week's glass. I mean, come on. What do you think I am? Some sort of animal? No,
Okay.
that's not pouring quite as I expected. Where's the head? Where's the no head?
That's what he said.
Oi. Right, anyway. We're going to go back to Kira's question, one I've answered.
You said you like doing it. They all do.
Carl, we've talked about being dead inside. What was the last film you cried at and why?
Look.
It's from Kira.
Right. I'm the wrong person to ask this question of.
Right.
Because in the right mood, I will go at anything, no matter how shit it is.
Yeah, but what is the last?
Especially anything with kids in it.
Christmas?
Listen, mate,
Christmas?
I basically watch every film desperately trying to suppress tears, just for sheer practicality, if anything else, because I want to be able to see the film and I need to not get too dehydrated, right?
Yeah.
So the last film I cried at was that Christmas.
Yeah.
Nothing too deep. That's just people dealing with loss and loneliness, people learning and growing. You've got kids in there, people being nice to each other and coming together.
Yep.
If you want a slightly more interesting and non-festive answer, it would be Past Lives.
Oh,
which
what part got you a Past
thought
Lives?
I would get away with, because that left me feeling I thought it was a fairly sterile film up until their boyfriend came into the third act and he showed his pain and also the richness of his sort of character and his understanding and all the rest of it. And then suddenly that had a really huge depth and sort of tapestry of emotions going on that film that I didn't think it was going to have. And it was a beautiful third act. And yeah, really enjoyed it.
So that Christmas did get the old misty eyes going, but no single tear, just slowly moving down the face. For me, it was Coda, which we'll talk about more when we get to our next Oscar specials. But it pushed all the buttons in the right way and in the right order.
I can see it.
Which is basically a review of the movie as well. That is basically what it did. But yeah, definitely got me. And it's got the old father-child relationship thing going on.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
Right
it's
there.
A big thing. I mean, I'll go at a well-placed TikTok. you put the right thing on. Whew. Mufasa's definitely an absolute banker. I mean, when that comes on. Whew.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, quick non-Christmas related one. Which Die Hard is the best, Carl? This is from Adam.
All right, listen. What a cunt of a question this is, right?
I mean, most people it's not.
No, well, they're wrong, right?
Is it Die Hard 2? That's the question.
Die Hard 1, 2 and 3. Let's be clear, it's not 4 or 5.
Well, no, but they don't count.
Jesus
they're
Christ,
out
right.
of the conversation.
Die Hard 1, 2 and 3, what a great example of how to do sequels and keep a franchise going, by the way, right? Because Die Hard, we know it's a classic.
You get the original, you set the tone.
Fantastic. Die Hard 2.
Do it again.
You think it's similar, but they've moved out The scale is bigger. They're running across an airport. They're not just confined to a building. The stakes are higher in the second one, right?
Planes.
And it's still hitting all the same notes that the first one did. It's a really good follow-up. And then the third one, it's like more of a heist and chase movie. They're sprawling across the city. You've also got dual leads in that one because you've Samuel L. Jackson, really big character in that, which is not something we have in the first two.
It's almost a buddy movie, isn't it?
Honestly, fuck knows. I can give you an answer, and it's not one that I'm entirely convinced of. I'm drawn to 2. I love 3. I think that's a superb reinvention of the film. That's the most interesting one, 3. The OG is the OG, which is great.
Gonna have to push you for an answer here, Carl.
I do think I've got an answer. And I think it makes me a Philistine because as I came in here today to record it, I was just like, I think it's Die Hard. I think I was going to watch one tomorrow. It's Die Hard 2.
Oh my God.
I bloody love it.
This is so funny. This is so funny because we literally...
You're the same, are you?
No. Ripped the shit out of our mate Alid. It's a running joke that's been going for a good 15 years of what is the best Die Hard. Hence why this question has come up. Because it's essentially just for bants. And we just ripped the shit out of him that he says Die Hard 2 is the best one. And it's so funny that you've just basically agreed with it.
You stand your ground, mate. You're right.
He'll love that. He doesn't fucking listen. But this is the guy.
He's got a reason to.
This is my mate who I was having the Christmas, little pre-Christmas booze up with him. And I was like, have you listened to podcasts? Yeah, I've listened to some. I've got notes. Just like, all right, you want to tell me what those notes are?
Yeah, any danger?
Yeah, you want to go? So waiting for that to come through, but I'm going to point him in the direction of this one, and he'll fucking love it.
The thing is, right, now don't get me wrong, I understand all the old OG shouts and all the rest of it, yada, yada, yada. What have you done to that? Look at this.
I've laid the glass.
Lovely head.
Dirty glass, that, isn't it?
You had the clean glass.
Yeah, right. I mean, there is no head on it. It's ruined it.
Yeah. So I understand the whole why you would naturally gravitate to 1 over 2. However, there's nothing there to rip anybody on because everything that's good about Die Hard 1 is alive and kicking in Die Hard 2.
This is your Home Alone 2 argument, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit. And having watched Home Alone 1 this week, after having watched Home Alone 2, I stand by it. Home Alone 2 does a lot of things better than Home Alone 1 does. And again, I understand if you're going to watch them back to back, you might be a little bored by the end of Home Alone 2 because you're going to be doing all the same thing again. Sure, I get that. If your attachment is to Home Alone 1, I get that. But if you can put those films apart, put a bit of distance in between the two and watch them, I maintain Home Alone 2 is the better film. It's the superior made and crafted movie of those two.
All right, well, it's the first one for me, Die Hard. Thank you. Moving
on. They're all great.
Okay, continuing our Bants questions as we have from Adam. I haven't sent you this one, Carl, so you're going to have to come up with this answer on the spot. You ready?
Yeah.
What's your top 3 breads?
Top 3 breads, right.
Yep.
I like a bit of shite white,
Yeah? Just plain old dirty. What would you have on it?
Bacon.
Oh, mate, yes.
Bacon sandwich and shite white.
That is, yeah. There are certain things that just shit white bread is perfect for.
Yeah.
Bacon is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes just butter with fish fingers in. Oh,
yeah.
Give me some of that.
I think you're going to be hard pressed to beat that. I mean, garlic bread's got its time and place.
I don't think garlic bread's a type of. Okay, fair. I was more looking for types of loaf.
All right, I tell you what else I really like. If I'm not going shite white, and I want a nice sandwich, maybe I'm putting a bit of cheese in there, a few cold cuts.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what would be good in this. Yeah, your Boxing Day beef.
Oh yeah.
Bit of whole grain mustard.
Mm-hmm.
A nice granary loaf.
Granary, yeah. Solid granary, yeah. I'll be number 3 on your list. I'm not counting garlic bread.
Okay, you're not counting garlic bread, right? Then are we having like naan bread? That sort of thing?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Naan bread.
Naan? Yeah. Any type of naan?
I like a garlic and coriander naan.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to sound like a dick, but tiger batten.
Don't like tiger bread.
Oh, I like a tiger batten. And then a proper
Sesame oil
proper
ramen.
seeded loaf.
Yeah.
Like a proper,
Good.
I like some of that. And then I'm going to go left field here. Bagel.
Yeah, don't mind a bagel. Again, sesame oil, but I get on with it on a bagel, not on your tiger loaf.
There we go. Bread question answered. What colour do you like your bananas?
I'm not a massive fan of bananas.
Oh, texture, isn't it?
Yeah, they're sort of a bit planty and fibrous.
This is another conversation we have regularly.
Yeah, but I can't do it with soft, so they'd have to be on the green side.
Slightly green? Are we like green yellow? Greeny yellow.
Fair enough. They need a bit of firmness in there.
All right, let's go back to Martin's question from Twitter. So, has anything been a disappointment in the cinema, but movied your needle on rewatch? Extra points there, Martin, for using the movied the needle.
He came through official channels as well.
Yeah, via Twitter.
It's all going on.
This is really hard, right? Again, because before we started this podcast, I tended not to watch films that I didn't like a second time. Seemed like a bit of a waste of my life.
Yeah, you also weren't aware that any numbers below 7 exist, so you were unable to express dislike.
No. Below 6.
Anyway.
Below 6. Come on, be fair.
Right.
Be fair.
Mine's
6 out of 5.
Mine's Bond again.
Mine too.
So where I loved The World Is Not Enough in the cinema, was disappointed with it. I went to watch Skyfall, so excited, because we'd had Casino Royale, which I didn't see in the cinema, but loved. I've never been particularly cold on Quantum of Solace. I definitely like it more now, but it was perfectly fine. It carried on Daniel Craig's excellent James Bond. So I was so excited to go see Skyfall, and I was gutted because I thought it was very, very silly. On a rewatch, and I think it was because I was doing this whole one after the other thing, and you get bogged down in the narratives and all this, that, and the other, especially with Craig's Bond. Skyfall is Daniel Craig's most Bond by the numbers effort.
Oh, yeah.
It's the most standalone effort.
Going to trademark that phrase.
Bond by the numbers, yeah. And when I watched it like that, I really enjoyed it on a rewatch. An absolute convert to Skyfall.
Very good. I look forward to watching that again, because after watching Casino Royale and Quantum of the Solid Age.
Quantum of the Solace, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that is actually my answer, is Quantum of Solace. Because I was very much underwhelmed by it at the cinema. But one of the bonuses of doing this podcast is you rewatched it, and with Casino Royale, we've talked about this, I'm not going to go into detail, but that was definitely the one that has movied the needle maybe more than any other that came to mind. All right, let's take another break, and then we'll finish up with another game and some more questions. All right, let's do another game. So it's another 2024 related game. So we've already had 2024 Your Eyes Only. Now we're going for 2020 Fortune. So this game, Carl, is how many of the top 10 box office movies of this year, global box office, can you name with 10 guesses?
This is going to go very badly. very, very badly.
Can I give you a clue?
Oh, please
that
do.
will help you.
Yeah.
There's not one original film in here.
Okay, all right. Well, that maybe does help a bit.
Okay, so 10 guesses. Off you go when you're ready.
Is it too early for Gladiator 2? No, let's go for it. Let's go Gladiator 2.
Oh, it's number 12, so missed out on the top.
So not quite there yet. Yeah.
$398,535,650.
Yeah.
I read that wrong. Jesus. Whatever.
There'll be a load of comic book shit I've no idea about.
No, actually, to be fair, there's only one comic book movie that I can see in the top 10. No, two.
Couldn't tell you what it is. That Deadpool versus Wolverine. That was this year, was it?
Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah.
Is that the one? That's
number 2. $1.338 billion.
Barbie was last year. Oh, are we doing the Despicable Me 4? Did that make it?
Despicable Me 4 is on list number 3. $969 million.
Christ Almighty, that's a sorry state of affairs, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's 3. You got 2 out of 3 so far. Doing well.
I mean, there must be more kids stuff in there, right?
Maybe.
Is it too early for Moana 2?
Oh, you going for Moana 2?
I'm going to go for Moana 2.
Number 4, 717 million.
Yeah.
So you're up 3 out of 4, doing
The first
well.
one wasn't good enough to make a sequel.
They're making the live action as well. Do you see that?
Dear me, yeah. What about Wicked? That's
Number 8, 524 million. Only been out a few weeks as well, so doing very well. Okay, that's 4 out of 5. Doing well, Carl. Doing better than I thought. Well done. Keep going.
better than I thought as well. Jesus Christ. How many lives have I got left?
You've got 5 left.
I've got 5 lives left.
Yep.
The problem here is I literally can't think of any other 2024 films.
I think more sequels.
Yes, but sequels to what?
2 more kiddie ones. One from 80s/90s.
Oh, we're doing the Beetlejuice 2?
Beetlejuice, yep. 451 million. So that's just 5 out of 6.
What was the other thing that was out around that time? No, I don't know. I'm gonna have to give up there.
You pass him?
Yeah.
So you got 5 out of your 6 guesses. So what you missed out on was number 9, Venom, The Last Dance.
All right, yeah.
Comic booky kind of one. 7, Kung Fu Panda 4.
4?
Indeed. So that's Kung Fu Panda 4, 547 million
Jesus Christ.
global. 193 million domestic. So that is making a lot of its money in the old rest of the world. Godzilla X Kong. I don't know how you meant to read that. Like Godzilla by Kong.
Godzilla -1 was only out
Kong.
6 months ago, wasn't it? What's going on?
I don't think it's a bit long that. But Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire, 571 million, number 6. June Part 2.
Oh, yeah, that was. Yeah, you said that. Yeah,
714 million.
Yeah, sure.
We had, and then number 1, the other one you missed, Inside Out 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was amazed how much that took because it seemed to appear. It seemed to appear on Disney Plus like instantly. After that is 1.7 billion that's made worldwide. Only 652 domestic.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
So you do. It's not bad though.
Yeah, take it. Yeah,
You got
take it.
50%.
Don't mind it.
So well done. All right,
I don't think I've seen a single one of those.
I mean, it's depressing, right? So I've got the top 15 on here. So just to round out the top 15, so there was Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Oh, God.
No.
I went to cinema to see Bad Boys 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and this is a good 15 years after that.
Yeah.
We've got Gladiator 2, which you mentioned,
Yes.
number 12.
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Genuinely, that's
Yeah.
it's fine. Twisters, so obviously another kind of sequel kind of thing.
Yeah.
And It Ends With Us. Thought it was a Netflix,
Yeah, sure it does,
thought it was a Netflix film.
Yeah, good.
But I think that might be the only original film, but that's based on a book, I think, as far as I'm aware. So out of the top 15, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of the top 15 sequels. The other 2, one based on a musical, West End musical, and the other one based on a book.
God almighty.
So yeah,
Sorry, state of affairs.
it certainly summarises where we are. Right, moving on to less depressing things. Let's get back to some questions, and we'll go back to Kira here. So, good question. One you won't be able to answer, I imagine. Which Spider-Man film is the best?
Yeah, never seen. Not seen a single one of them.
Okay,
Not one.
So the correct answer here is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It is by far the best. It is a 5-star movie. It's fantastic. Carl needs to get his act together. It's great.
No, there's no chance of
If
that.
we're counting only live action ones, then Spider-Man 2 for me. There you go, Kira. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to a question which you might have an answer for. So we'll go to biggest surprise. This is from Johnny via Twitter, who's just been live speaking Polish. Well,
it's debatable, that, isn't it?
Something resembling. His wife has just been on live speaking Polish.
Oh, did she have a lovely voice, by the way?
Can we get her on for a regular slot?
Yeah, we should get her on. I don't know anything about movies. Doesn't matter, love.
Just speak Polish to me.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So biggest surprise that you've watched this year?
Yeah. So again, this is watched this year for me because as
I've got one of each. I've got one from 2024 and one that I've watched this year.
So I was surprised by Il Postino.
That was my one. I literally had no expectations going in, and I was like, blew me away.
I did think I might like it because I do like these sort of more meandering, contemplative things that are set in foreign countries, especially if they're a bit older. I did think I'd like it. I really liked it.
Yeah, very good.
Elizabeth.
Oh, really?
Thought it was going to be shite.
That's the Kate Blanchett one, right?
Yeah, actually found it's more of a thriller than period piece.
Yeah.
So, didn't love it.
Gonna
Didn't
watch
think
the
it was
sequel?
great. Oh, they're doing. Of course, they're doing a sequel. Are they doing a
Elizabeth,
sequel?
the Golden Age is done. It's already
I don't need to ask that question ever. Are they doing a sequel?
They've done it.
Yes, they're doing a sequel. They're always doing a sequel.
Elizabeth II, it's called.
Of course it is.
It's not really. No,
Should be. Didn't spoiler alert, she dies and all. Didn't love it, but again, so I thought I was going to hate it. Thought it was a bit better than that. Anatomy of a Fall. Now, I love Anatomy of a Fall. Really good movie. I usually have got no time for your true crime / courtroom stuff.
Oh, really?
It's not something that interests me. But I thought that was a really, really well made film. In Bruges, we know all about on this podcast. That was a real turnaround for me. But I was so pleasantly surprised by 12 Angry Men. I watched it for the first time this year. It comes on number 4 of the top top films on IMDb, and so rarely do old films live up to the hype.
Yeah, 100%.
Because a lot of the time they are hyped because they're old and look at what they were doing, and I understand that, but is that really the 4th best film kicking around at this time?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it might be. I loved it. It really, really good. So well made.
It's funny because I was about 10 years ago, I did exactly the same thing as what you did. Going through it and going oh, fine, I'll put on fucking, this film from the 50s or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fine. You watch it, you're like, holy shit, that was awesome.
And I've no aversion to old films or black and white films. I have watched a lot of that. I will continue to watch.
But in terms of it being
it's just
one of the best films of all time.
Number 4, is it? Really? Yeah, it might be. It's really good.
Really, really good. So my one from this year, 2024 film, was A Quiet Place Day One. So again, it's a sequel.
Yeah, you said about this.
It's a threequel, almost, the third one, telling a story which I thought was not necessary in any way, shape or form, but actually done really quite effectively, and it's quite a enjoyable film with its kind of, I don't want to say horror elements, but, it's a monster-y kind of movie thing. So that was surprising. I'm not saying it's a brilliant film by any chance, but I had very low expectations for it because it doesn't even have the returning director of Krasinski, no Emily Blunt, so already expectations low.
Pointless.
But yeah.
Imagine having Emily Blunt at your disposal. She's her own person. I'm not suggesting otherwise. But imagine having her at your disposal and not using her. What's going on there?
Well, I'm sure he'll use it for his next film. Related question. Biggest disappointment of the year?
My honourable mention is Into the Wild.
Oh, really?
Thought I would really like that film. Was very disappointed with the way it panned out. Absolutely hated the cunt. We might talk about that one.
We might, yes. That might be coming up in January, February, March.
But my biggest disappointment was Before Sunset, because I loved Before Sunrise.
Dagger to my heart.
And I was really upset with the way they took that. Not to say that it's a bad film. I didn't rate it as a bad film. I rated it as a middling film, but not a bad film. But yeah, really didn't like what that did. So yeah.
Fair enough. So I've got a couple for disappointments. So the first we've already talked about, which was Roadhouse. And that was more from a first half of the film to second half of the film, the disparity. It
had potential, didn't it?
Oh, it had
potential.
Had potential to be such a fun little film.
Yeah.
And yes, I know it's a remake, so it's probably unnecessarily remade anyway, because I know the original's got a lot of... look good. Gyllenhaal was good. All good. That was disappointing. The second one was Here, which we've talked about before. So that's the Tom Hanks, Zemeckis. I always forget her name. Why can I never remember her name?
Because you hate women. We've been through this.
That was it, yeah. Can you remember her name for me?
No, I hate women. We've been through this.
Jenny from Forrest Gump. Come on.
Oh, Robin Wright.
Robin Wright. Yeah. I want to call it Rachel Evan Wood, which is not a different person. Robin Wright. And I was just like, the premise for this is solid, but they took it too far. It was very disappointing. It was very ungood. It was Yeah.
Very good. I love that.
Disappointing, to say the least. We've just talked about Emily Blunt, so just going to round off Johnny's questions here with, besides Tommy C and Emily B, who are your favourite actors, Carl?
I'm dreading this because
Tricky one.
I'll forget someone. And
they'll be phoning up next week, won't they?
Oi.
Ask
you
off.
imagine? That'd be brilliant. Okay, so I have split this down traditional gender lines, I'm afraid.
See, I've just treated actors as actors, Carl. Don't know what
Yeah, I know. How ridiculous of me. Which I do actually think, by the way.
So do you think, just on that, Oscars, we should just go best performance?
Yeah, I absolutely do think that, because I think it's ridiculous that you make a split down gender lines. Now, the problem is,
do you think they did it
that
only
wouldn't
because...
pan out the way I wanted?
Yeah, exactly. It would just be like, 9 men and a woman.
No, well, yeah, and the woman would win 50% of the time because they'd make sure of it. And what I would love to happen is they go, why do women never win this? And it's all laid bare for us to go, because you don't put them in fucking films.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wouldn't pan out the way I want it to. But yeah, I don't like the split generally. But I've fallen in line here. So Tom Cruise isn't my favourite actor.
I'm just going to back off. Just back to that. Surely that is actually the direction it's going to go. What with the whole what do you identify as? Blah, blah. I mean, it's gonna have to go that route, surely, because
you would
go
think so.
Actor, actress, or
and then somebody's going to have to make a
you can't
convincing
go male
argument.
actor, female actor. That won't be allowed.
No, somebody's going to have to make a convincing argument as to why it shouldn't.
Yeah.
So some non-binary actor is going to turn in a performance that's worthy of the Oscar, and then you're going to have some dickhead from the Academy make an argument as to why we shouldn't do that. And then it's all well and good, isn't it, when everything's set and you go, oh, well, that's just how it is. That's all well and good. But when you have to make the case as to against, it becomes, go on, say it out loud. Say it out loud. What do you like?
Sorry, go on.
But yes, I am stuck in the 1950s and I've gone down the gender line. So Tom Cruise isn't my favourite actor. I do love him. But he's not my favourite actor. I've always leaned towards people like Russell Crowe, Sean Connery. Sean Connery, I love. Ed Harris, Al Pacino. Cool. Mads Mikkelsen is up there.
Oh, good call.
So Mads. Cool, Mads. And he's so good.
Great option. Paul
Newman, Robert Redford. But the one I think I would pick out, because whenever I see this guy in a film, I just think, oh yeah, I believe that guy. It's Gene Hackman. Ooh. He's just scintillating every single time.
That's cool. I mean, I've kind of kept with actors that are still acting, generally, which is a complete blind spot. I should have gone more historic of actually looking beyond the last, who is still in new films now. Great shouts there that I didn't even consider. Hackman's a great shout. Who else did you say? That was just...
Oh, Pacino, Mikkelsen, Newman, Redford.
Mikkelsen. Fantastic shout for Mikkelsen. He is... I don't think I've seen him in anything bad.
He's amazing.
I think he's great. So one, and this is not necessarily leading actors, but J.K. Simmons. Every single film you see J.K. Simmons in, he is a guaranteed plus point.
He's very Ed Harris, J.K. Simmons.
Yes, yeah, Ed Harris. You know you're going to be getting something from Ed Harris, don't you? 100%. Mark Ruffalo, similar sort of thing. Good, always interesting. Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Always see him when you're going to get something zany, something fun. You're going to bring some energy. I'll stick down your gender lines as well, and then we'll do some actresses as well. So Jake Gyllenhaal, already talked about him. He's making some interesting choices. He's making some good solid
interesting
films.
Choices is a way to phrase it. I think he should sack his agent. Not a slight on him, but my God, his filmography is patchy.
It's definitely inconsistent.
Yes.
He's tried all sorts of different things, but he does do some... He doesn't just go down blockbuster route. Like it's almost like a one for him, one for them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Route. Christian Bale, I have to call out.
Yeah.
Because you watch absolutely everything, and I wouldn't want to work with him.
Yeah, he's got this reputation, but only off of that one film, though. Is he really a prick on everything else?
I don't know. I imagine he takes it very seriously, though.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. And then the other one, Adam Driver, strange-looking man, awesome screen presence. What I've seen him in, he's one of those that I think he's gonna go on to some very interesting things. But Carl, there's only one winner here. Clear eyes.
You're doing Hanks again.
Clear eyes. Full hearts. Can't lose.
You going Carl Chandler?
Oh, Carl Chandler. Wherever you put Carl Chandler in a movie, you've added a star.
This is what I was scared of because I've forgotten Carl Chandler. No, he's not my favourite actor, but I do love Carl Chandler.
But he's one of those actors, right? You see him in it. He's never going to be he's unlikely to be a lead in anything, right?
Oh, he can be a lead. Watch Bloodline.
Yeah, that's
on
a
Netflix.
TV series.
TV series.
Yeah.
And I know we've got a question coming up about that. But he's fantastic in that. He's got the gravity to hold down a lead.
He's not going to be a lead in a movie. Like
he could be a lead in a movie.
He could be, but he's not going to be.
He just needs the right movie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Let's go down gender lines then. So, actress-wise, Carl?
Yeah, Rachel Weisz, I really like.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson is fantastic. Sure. By the way, to what we just said, unless you go in like Meryl Streep or Frances McDormand, it's really difficult to pick females out because their filmography just is not as big and successful. None of that's their fault.
No.
It's just, it really lays it bare when you try go like tit for tat, you can't do it. Weisz Johansson. Tilda Swinton always scares the crap out of me. I think she's fantastic. She's incredibly convincing in everything she does. She's done some weird roles.
Yeah. She's
done some more straight down the line roles.
Yeah, 100%.
Very good. Jean Triplehorn, I love. Jean Triplehorn, I don't know why she wasn't used more in your late 80s, early 90s movies. So Jean Triplehorn, of course, plays the big TC's wife in The Firm. She also plays the lesbian love interest in Basic Instinct. And she's just fantastic. And she absolutely nails that, like I say, that late 80s, early 90s aesthetic. No idea why she wasn't around more. Fantastic. The best acting performance I've seen recently is probably Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah.
Fantastic. She's really good in
dual language as
Zone
well,
of Interest as well. Oh, yeah. So talented. She's fantastic. But honestly, my favourite really probably is Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I mean, it says besides Emily Blunt in the question, but yeah, it's fine.
I know, but I can pick out other things I like. And like I say, the best acting performance is probably Sandra Hüller. But I've only seen her in 2 films. But really, I do come back to Emily Blunt. She's got a real screen presence.
Yeah.
I think she's great.
No, I mean, you called out a couple. So Frances McDormand, she is literally just great in everything that she's in.
She's really good, yeah.
Meryl Streep, similar.
You check her, wouldn't you?
I mean, many times. Yeah.
Dress as Thatcher. Ooh.
The other one I want to call out. So
is it Thatcher? She does.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah,
as well. Love a bit of Kate Blanchett. And Jennifer Lawrence as well, in terms of the sort of a younger star coming up. She's done some interesting stuff. She's got, again, it's just getting the right.
I'm a bit cooler on her. Not necessarily all her fault, but I do find she's the one where they go, we need someone to say fuck. Oh, it's Jennifer Lawrence then.
Yeah.
She can be a bit trashier. Let's get Jennifer Lawrence in.
Yeah, but it's definitely easy for the guys. Which is
who's your pick for the women? Sorry,
I have to go Frances McDormand.
Yeah, fair play.
I think she's just great.
Fair play.
Right, that's that one done. Let's move back up the list, and we've got you called this one out, so it was. Do you think, Carl? This is from Kira. Do you think TV is better than movies?
This is a great question.
These days, I struggled with this.
This is a great question. I've got a very long answer for this.
All right, let me do my short answer.
Yeah.
I don't watch any fucking TV nowadays because I haven't got any fucking time. I have to watch movies. So, yeah, I'm not the best one to ask. TV, there is some great TV out there. There's a lot of TV out there that I haven't watched, that I want to watch, that I haven't got time to watch, which is very irritating. But Carl, go on. Yeah,
this is a great question. I haven't got a definitive answer. Imagine if I had. Like, who am I?
Yes.
Yeah. They're different. TV has more time. The rhythm of TV is different because you are simultaneously writing in chunks to try hit your episode slot, but then you're trying to thread all of those chunks together for an overall arc. On the movie side of it, audiences tend to pay more attention when they're watching a movie because it's more of an event. You're sitting down to watch a thing. Sitting down to watch TV is slightly different. I'd argue that the streaming model is blurring those lines because now we've got loads of movies at our fingertips. We don't have to go rent one anymore. We haven't bought the DVD. They're just all there.
Yep.
Likewise, even our TV box sets are on demand. We're not just putting the telly on because we're sat down at a certain time and that just happens to be on. We'd sit down and go, I'm going to watch this. So streaming is definitely blurring the lines there. You have different challenges, like I've already touched on when you're writing a TV series, because sometimes you can write as a wanna. You can go, I've got an idea, we're going to write this whole arc. Sometimes, especially in America, they're writing it week to week. The thing's on the air.
There's a distinction here, isn't there, between like the serial TV thing, the traditional American 22, 21, 24 episodes.
Yeah, but even
versus
even stuff like Breaking Bad is written whilst it's on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, but that now, if there was a Breaking Bad now, that wouldn't be on network TV. That would be a Netflix series from the get-go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's interesting, maybe.
That would be 8 episodes per series.
Well, Better Call Saul was longer than that.
Yeah, but it would be that kind of 8 to 10. I think it's 10, Better Call Saul,
right,
isn't it?
Right.
But there's that difference between TV, as in stuff that is literally just played on TV, still on networks, versus streaming channels, mini-series and things like that. And it's the mini-series, I think, that tries to compete with film, where you're basically taking it's a 6-hour film or 6.5, 7-hour film, and you're expanding that out over the...
No, but you can't write as a film. That's where they remain different,
no.
though.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like in terms of the level of depth and what you're going at, it's more of a... It's not a episodic... it's not written episodically necessarily in terms of your comedies, your Seinfelds, your Friends, your NCIS, your CIS, CSI, whatever it is, all of that sort of thing.
No, they are trying to keep more of a through line, but they are still very much writing episodically because that's how it's going to drop. And also, not all, even the ones that go straight to streaming, not all box sets are dropped the same. So some will be released and the whole box set will drop. Better Call Saul, for instance, was released week by week. So in that sense, they are still very much going, we need to drip you through this story one at a time, because even if you wanted to sit down and watch 2 or 3 episodes at once, you're not going to get it. But that doesn't mean to say that there's a wrong way or a right way, though, because I think about something like Peaky Blinders. Now, Peaky Blinders written for a British platform, so very much not done on the American model, where they are writing characters in or out based on audience reactions. So, going back to Breaking Bad, Jesse Pinkman survives the first season because audiences liked him. He was planned to be killed off in that first season. Audiences like him, they changed that, and that affects the entire thing of the show. A massive mistake, I might add. I'd have killed him off in the first season. He was a terrible character. Peaky Blinders doesn't have that because we're doing 6 episodes. It's written in one, they go produce it, whatever. It's still lost its way, Peaky Blinders, as you move through the seasons. Early seasons work, and then it gets daft, it gets out of control.
Movie coming this year, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a movie, yeah. Which is, again, too long after the series. I don't know how they're going to make that work. So there's not a right way and a wrong way. They are just different. They have different challenges. They are delivered differently. And for me, even though you can look at TV and go, these days the money in TV is astronomical. It absolutely matches movie money. That means you've got
the stars, right?
The writers, you can get the stars, you can get even the directors. You can convince to do a series instead of doing a movie. You can get the production value, you can get the CGI. even though you can get all of that, they still hit differently. And I think it's a sort of singular experience. Sitting down to watch a couple of hours TV, the transient nature of a movie still hits differently. Even if I was going to do the same with a TV series, I'll sit down and watch 2-hour episodes. It's not the same.
So my question here
that
is...
continuous quality doesn't hit the same.
So we've just looked at the top 15 box office films of 2024. All sequels.
Yeah.
All non-original things. When we talk about TV, a lot more original content. A lot more stuff that's not sequels. Yeah, fair enough, you obviously get follow-on series and things, but it's not based off necessarily an IP that's come in there.
For me, it's not a question of ideas, and we both agree on the problem with ideas in cinema. It's not a question of ideas, it's a question of how you consume it. And for me, I will always consume a film differently to a movie, and it'll always therefore hit differently.
What would you, if you had, let's say, an hour and a half, 2 hours on a Saturday night, because you don't go out because you're old.
Yeah. Fair cop.
What would your general choice be? Would it, before, assuming you don't do a movie podcast, would you be going, I'll watch a movie?
Oh, it depends what me and the missus are into. If we're watching a box set, well, yes. If we're watching a box set, we'll be picking that up. I don't think that's really the driver. It's just what we're into at the moment. I just think that when I actually sit down to watch a movie, it lands very differently to watching TV, even good TV. I always say about The Sopranos, I love The Sopranos, it's a great TV show. I always say about Sopranos, it's like a sort of a 50-hour long Goodfellas, right? Because it's, sort of similar vibes and what have you. The problem is that people aren't making movies like Goodfellas. Because sitting down to watch Goodfellas still lands very differently to watching an episode of The Sopranos. There's a lot of parallels there, and I love them both. But what you really want is people to go out and make more Goodfellas films. They're not. The fact that they make the TV shows instead, is that better? I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah.
That's what I keep coming back to. It's just different.
So there you go. A very definitive answer there.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
I did start by saying that it would not be definitive.
Here's another good one from Kira. What is the perfect length of a movie?
Oh, you'll love this. I've got another answer.
Is it 20 minutes long?
Great question. There's no such thing.
Right, so I have a kind of answer, right? Obviously, it depends, right? There's a massive caveat at the start here.
Yeah. I think... I just want to get this out before you tell your answer, because I think I've already written down what it's not, and I think you're about to argue that it is, but go on.
Go on. No, go on.
I think it's not a genre thing.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
No, I've got a number in mind, right? Which in my mind is the perfect length for me, in that it fits a lot of things. So it obviously depends. If you've got a story which needs to take 2 hours, 24 minutes, great. That's fine. You tell your story in 2 hours, 24 minutes. I won't even fucking notice it's 2 hours, 24 minutes. I'll watch it along. Boom. Away we go.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to pin me down to a number, I would say 1 hour, 48 minutes. And the reason for that...
Oddly specific.
Yeah, oddly specific. I mean, it's the top end of a comedy film. Don't want it longer than that. 1 hour, 48. Boom.
You see, now you've mentioned genre now.
Yeah, I have. But for anything else that is more story-driven or character-driven, that gives enough time for you, most of the time, to be able to tell a story, to develop characters, to do something a bit more interesting. You can, and from a pure consumption point of view, it fits in very nicely with my life for 1 hour 40.
Yeah, okay.
I can watch that on an evening during the week. I can watch that on a weekend. If it's a bit of a later start, that's still fine. You even get into your 9:30, 10 o'clock, so I can still fit in a 1 hour 48 and still be fine. There's no issue here. Bed by midnight, all good. It's a very boring answer, but 1 hour 48 for me is bang on. What's your non-answer?
Okay, I do agree a little bit when you start talking about the story you're sort of telling. Mm-hmm. If you need this long to do this, if you need this long to do that. The bits I don't agree with, I don't think it's genre specific. I know you started out by saying it's not genre specific. But you did straight into that territory. You also said, depending on my real life, that's not a factor. You don't go to the cinema and go, well, I've got to be out at 3 or whatever. If you've got to be out at 3, you don't go to the cinema. If you can't watch the film, you can't watch the film. The other thing is, again, not necessarily genre specific, but you said like a certain length leaves you enough time to develop characters. I don't agree with that. I think you can do it in different ways. There's more than one way to sort of develop characters. I really do think you've got to take each film on its own merits. What story is it telling? What story is it telling? Did it manage it in that runtime? I've got some examples. So, like war films, Saving Private Ryan, The Longest Day, 3 hours plus, and it works. I don't think they're necessarily too long, those movies. I think it works. But then I think of like Dunkirk, which is a movie I love and I think it's incredibly effective. It's 90 minutes. Same sort of story, same arena, same sort of gravity, and it's doing it in half the time because it's coming at it from a different angle. Staying with Christopher Nolan, but going the other direction, Inception. Inception's 2.5 hours, right? And it's a great movie. The ideas in that film, we've already said, it's rich. You could stretch that out over a longer runtime or several films, and it still work. The counterpoint to that movie is a movie called Primer, which Will recommended, friend of the pod. That film is 1 hour and 17 minutes. Literally half the time, it's dealing with very similar themes, and it's nailing it. It's absolutely getting to the same crux of the thing. It's just doing it in a slightly different way. I do like long films. Like, what do you feel about long films in general? And they don't fit in with your life. So.
Literally, that is the only detractor. I love a long film where I get lost in it and it doesn't feel like a long film.
So Schindler's List is like 3 hours. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine you sit down and watch Schindler's List and start looking at your watch and go, Christ almighty, this is it. Like, it really works for that because it's a big old story, a big old epic. One of the best paced films I saw last year was Oppenheimer, and that's 3 hours long. Some people say that's too long. I do think there's a bit of a misunderstanding with that because I think people are expecting pure biopic, and it's not. For me, that film is sort of split into 3 sections. You've got first hour is biopic, second hour is more like a heist movie, and the final hour is like a courtroom thriller. Mm-hmm. And I loved the pacing of that film because I wasn't expecting those 2 sections, and they hit me, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is really picked up."
That is a really dense, interesting, engaging movie.
Yeah, but if he made that film longer, I'd have lapped it up, and that's 3 hours. I just don't think there's a such thing as sort of too long. Again, I come back to shorter films. First Terminator, hour 47. Predator, we've talked about, hour 40. And we praised how it's tight storytelling, well plotted, not too much exposition, but yet it still builds a world really, really well. Yeah. So you sort of think, oh, well, action, that's best shorter then. Action film, because we're not really developing characters. Get in, get out. But then Heat comes along at nearly 3 hours, and you go, oh, yeah, I really like Heat. That's
you watched the new John Wick? That's about 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, that's a really long one. Die Hard, not a short film.
2 hours, isn't it?
2 hours, 12 minutes. 2 hours, 12? 2 hours, 12 minutes. Right. You don't feel it.
No.
Right. And the thing with Die Hard, by the way, Die Hard is essentially 15 minutes worth of setup and then one scene. We don't move from the building. We don't go anywhere. Time doesn't advance. We're in pretty much real time. And it's one scene. And we move all the way through for another 2 hours. And it just works because it's a really good... It's not a snappy action film. It's just a really good action film. And you don't notice it because it works. So it's a great question. I don't think there is a duration. I don't think it's bound by genre or anything. I think it is literally just what is the film setting out to do, and does it work? And you can go anyway. I talked about a 53-minute film earlier today. Great. I also love films that are 3 hours plus. It's more about being good or bad than it is being about short or long, I think.
So just to summarise, Carl says 1 hour 48, bang on.
yeah. I wonder what the median time of films I've given 5 stars is.
Oh, that'd be an interesting one to look at, wouldn't it?
We have a section called the data. We should introduce some fucking data to it.
You know what we should do? Yeah, actually, write any of this down would be good.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. Okay, Carl, you ready for the last game of the night?
Last game.
And then we'll do a few more questions and then we'll wrap things up. This is a nice quick one. Okay. This is called Remember or 2020 Forget. See what I've done there?
Yep. I'm still there.
So, Carl, we have covered 34 movies in total on the podcast in 2024, excluding the Oscar special. Can you remember all 34 in under a minute?
Oh, shit, a minute.
Right, you've got the length of time it takes me to actually find the fucking clock on my computer.
Okay.
And then you'll go, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't know how to do this. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
We started out with No Country for Old Men, then we did Superbad, then we did About Time, then we did Tenet, then we did Apocalypse Now. We might have gone into our Scorsese run at that point, so we'll have done Departed, Casino, Wolf of Wall Street. Was Clint in our first run? So that would have been Gran Torino. It's getting hazy now, the back end of that run. Before Sunrise, of course. Sunset, of course. Okay, let's jump forward to... There's 10. Let's jump forward to this round. We did Spirited Away.
15 seconds left.
Oh, shit. Spirited Away, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Quantum of Solace, what did we do? Nightmare Before Christmas, Scrooged, Polar Express.
Time's up!
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have spent so much time talking and just spent more time
Listing.
fucking saying names of movies, I reckon.
All right, so you missed a couple. You missed Blood Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
You missed... Did you say Tenet?
I said Tenet, yeah.
Okay, cool. About Time?
I got About Time.
Okay.
As well, yeah.
Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, I got Apocalypse Now, yeah. Did you know what I said earlier?
Star Wars.
About if you listen to what I said,
Yeah, well...
I'll have to say that.
I missed
Star Wars.
What my plan was to have them all listed and tick boxes. I could do it. I ran out of time.
Yeah.
Spirited Away.
Yeah, I got Spirited Away. Yeah.
Fuck's
I
sake.
missed Star Wars, but I got Spirited Away.
Departed, Casino,
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
The Thing.
No, I missed The Thing. Yeah,
That's the thing. You went back to Gran Torino. You got Beautiful Mind, I think you missed.
yeah, I missed Beautiful Mind. Yeah,
Crouching Tiger, you got.
yeah.
The underappreciated episode.
The Cocktail.
Yep.
Yeah, missed that.
Ad Astra.
I missed that. That's
Death
right.
of Stalin.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah, this round was a shambles.
Yeah. Martian.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah.
I think you said Whiplash.
No, it didn't say Whiplash.
No.
No,
The Mummy.
no, missed the Mummy.
Zootopia.
No.
Wizard of Oz.
No,
In Bruges.
no,
Mexican.
no.
National Lampoons.
Yeah, got that.
Polar Express.
Yeah, got that.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, got that.
Scrooged.
Yeah, got that.
There you go. I reckon you got about 50%.
Yeah, you're not even talking about after all that.
I mean, no one's keeping score, mate.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We've just talked about the data. We don't write anything down. Like, I could
no,
say
we don't.
anything.
Okay, right, next question.
Right. Last few questions to round us out today. Oh, no, I've clicked on the wrong page. Hold on. I'm on Wizard of Oz episode. This isn't going to help. Here we go. All right, back. So, we have got a couple of questions from Kira just to finish out. I'll be honest, Kira. Not got answers to these questions. They're too hard. So, what film did you watch, Carl, as a kid that you now watch as an adult and really inappropriate?
You're really inappropriate, yeah. I think I'd probably have to say Diabolic Gangbangs 4. 1 to 3 are fine, but 4's just taking it too far.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
No, but probably Terminator scared the shit out of me as a 9 or 10-year-old. Yeah. I loved it, but there's no chance I'd show
fair.
my eldest something like that now.
Yeah, this isn't something I've rewatched as an adult. I mean, I watched The Fly as a 9-year-old. Fucked me up. Like, no chance I would ever show that to anyone under the age of 15. Like, what are you doing? No.
And now you'll only watch Wet Mulch. Like,
this is exactly. It's safe.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could change the ending of any movie, Carl, what would it be? What would you change?
You haven't got an answer for this, no?
No, I didn't. Nothing sprung to mind.
Okay, I've got two. So I think All Is Lost, Robert Redford.
Okay, why would you change?
I think that moves from a meh to a great film if the ending is more ambiguous. Because that film opens with a spoiler, which is essentially the ending, but it's a flash forward bit where they tell you exactly what to think and what to feel, which annoys me. And then you get to the end and they repeat that bit, and it kind of just shits on its own vibes. I think that film. I think if you leave that more ambiguous and contemplative, it's a really great film. I find hitting you over the head very dreary. The other one is Birdman.
See, I have very little memory of actual details of Birdman, only that I had high expectations and I was left very like... Ugh.
You've rated this highly, and I looked on
your
Letterboxd. Yes.
I don't remember it at all.
Birdman. So it might have had something serious to say if it didn't shit all over its own message with the whole tweet and good review at the end. Proper cheesy Hollywood ending. Instead of sort of sticking to task and examining the sort of industry, if you like. So yeah, Birdman.
Change that one. What did I rate Birdman?
I'm pretty sure you give it like 3.5, 4 stars. Hit the like.
The 3.5's like a 2 nowadays.
You hit the like, mate. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, I rated 4.5.
4.5. There you go.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that movie. I reject this person, whoever left this review.
Ah, so what you're saying is a movie you needle.
Yeah, well, maybe. I have to actually rewatch the fucker. Okay, Carl, last one.
Oh, you've saved this one till last.
What film do you wish was your life? Or a main character that you wish was you? You love these questions.
I think there's a bit missing in my brain.
I couldn't answer this, to be fair. This is a tricky version of this question.
They're all the same. I'm just not able to give an answer to these. I mean, I could give an answer. I'd literally just be saying a film name.
Go for it.
Right. I find comparing myself to others deeply uninteresting, and to have someone else's life is to not have my own. And I've no interest in that at all. So, yeah. I mean,
it's a very healthy approach, I think.
I'll show you what I mean. I'd be Gil Pender in Midnight in Paris.
Is he the main character?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Owen Wilson. A writer having an experience like that in Paris. Ooh, amazing. I'd be him. But I don't mean it.
Like that. No. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I just don't get it.
Do you think there are people that just go like, oh, yeah, I want to be them. I just want to live their life, yeah.
I can't relate to it. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't want any role which was remotely stressful. That rules out a lot of films. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, there's some actual jeopardy here. I don't want any jeopardy in my life, thanks. They're just low stakes.
Yeah, no.
Perfectly fine. Quiz show. I could be someone in quiz show.
Who would you be? Herb, the neurotic guy who's not getting his... him.
Maybe the shallow quiz master.
Yeah.
Or the studio head, the corrupt studio head. I don't know, yeah.
No,
difficult.
No, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and then you think like, oh, who has like the great life? The lives somewhere amazing.
Yeah, but that's their life. It's not your life.
Yeah, but it
wouldn't be your life.
Yeah, but I can't even think who that would be anyway.
No, I'm not.
Tricky question, Kira.
Can't do it.
Tricky question.
Look, Kira's asked some great questions. She shit the bed there.
Yeah. But she said about 23, so fair play. Fair play to her. I did have one other game, Carl, right?
Oh, no.
I couldn't quite make it work.
All right.
I had the name.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't quite get it. So the name was... 2024.
Okay.
So it's going to be like, it was going to be, can you name the top 10 sexiest actors from a particular list?
I'll have a bloody go. Right.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon you could do it? I didn't think you'd be able to do it.
For this year?
No, this is just like, what as voted for this year.
Oh, God, I'd have no clue.
Well, that's what I mean. This is where I started. Let me just see.
Sydney Sweeney keeps popping up on social media. He's got no fucking idea who she is.
It's only men, though. I can't find anything with like a mixture.
Oh, it's just men?
Yeah.
I would have a better chance with that. Paul Mescal?
Yes, he's in there.
Yeah, he'd be on there, wouldn't he? Is Pedro Pascal still hot?
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah.
He's still hot, is he? Yeah. Watches a reel off all 10 now.
Yeah. This obscure guy. So the list I'm taking, the only one I can really find is People magazine. Yeah.
I mean, I'd still have Hugh Grant in there, but I don't think he's going to make the cut, is he?
No, so you got two impress. You're definitely not going to get number one. I don't think you even know who he is.
I tell you what,
you've mentioned number four.
Mentioned number 4
on today.
Well, I'll tell you who would be in there ridiculously. He's bloody Timothée Chalamet, wouldn't he?
He is on there.
Yeah,
yes.
Is the other one? No, so I mentioned number 4. The other one's fucking Austin Butler. Then,
yes, he's on there as well.
Of course it is. Jesus Christ, the ugly looking fucker.
There's a really odd one at number 9.
What, Barry Keoghan?
No, not that odd.
Not that odd. Yeah, Christ almighty. I mean, he's not that much uglier than Austin Butler, but Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Austin Butler doesn't look like he was partially aborted.
Oh dear. The irony with that comment is that'll either get edited out or it'll get clipped up and posted to socials. There's no in between.
Yeah, it's true.
How many have we got? Is that 5 out of 5? Is it?
I think
5 out of 10? Is it?
Yeah, 5 out of 10. I mean, it's more than I expected you to get.
Yeah.
I don't think you know some of them.
I mean, they're all young ones, aren't they? So Aaron Taylor Johnson.
There's an older. No, he's not on there. I would put him on there.
No, he's not done much though, has he? The past year.
Well, he's got a new film out now, though. Raven the Hunter. So I'll let you know. Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, I know.
You know who he is, though, right? Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
No.
Then Matt Bomer. Never heard of him.
Oh, he looks like another actor. How are you spelling his name?
M-A...
Fuck off.
T-T. No, Bomer is B-O-M-E-R. I don't recognise him at all.
He looks like Henry Cavill.
He does. I mean, he's got dark hair and he's chiseled. Yeah, fair enough. The other guy is Theo James, one that keeps on coming out for Bond.
James. Theo James is not a terrible shout for the next Bond, actually. Theo James.
And then the other one, so Paul Mescal, you got Shabuzi.
Yeah, great lad. Yeah,
don't know who he is.
Great lad. Yeah.
And then the other thing I didn't get was Andrew Garfield.
Oh fuck me, Jesus Christ.
I could imagine myself with Andrew Garfield. And then number 1 was Manny Jacinto.
Oh yeah, another great lad.
Again, TV more than movies. In The Good Place and the recent Star Wars series, not Apocalypse, Acolyte. Yeah. All right, let's take one last break and then we'll finish up with the last question before we leave. Okay, Carl, looking ahead, our last question today, not one from a listener, just one that we thought we'd throw in there to look ahead to the future. It's a new year, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Yes, very good, yeah. Bit bubble.
Yeah. 2025 movies, Carl, that you're most looking forward to. Any out there that you fancy?
Difficult this, I found, because you can look down the list of what's coming up, but then the only ones you sort of recognise are the sequels and the remakes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I've definitely got some interest in some of those. I'll probably watch them, but as we've already said, you sort of go, is that it? Then you get a load of unknown stuff, but then it's unknown, so how do you know to be excited about it unless you've seen a trailer?
The director is a director that you're a fan
maybe,
of, or a star that's particularly interesting you.
Maybe, but then we've talked before about.
Sounds interesting at least.
I know, but information's short on the ground. We've talked before about how movie stars are a bit short supply these days, and so I did find it difficult. Lot of horror coming up next year. I noticed.
I'll tell you what, Carl, we need to get on the horror bandwagon.
is lots of horror.
When you look on the old socials, there's basically, I think there's a good, and it's not in a subsection, it's just a large section of the world that is just loves the horror.
Yeah, they do.
Christmas horror, horror, Valentine's horror. There's subsections of horror, and they're all over it.
Horror. If you're from Northern, yeah, I was going to say, if you're from Northern Ireland, how would you say that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like one long drone, wouldn't it?
So I think all we need to do for next year should be to collaborate with a Northern Irish horror fanatic.
Yeah, and do all the horror. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you got an actual answer?
I've written some stuff down. Yeah.
That counts.
I mean, I'll probably watch the last Mission Impossible.
The Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
Not Dead Reckoning Part 2 anymore.
No, it's changed, hasn't it? I went to the cinema to see Dead Reckoning Part 2, and that was a very fun cinema experience. Sorry, Part 1, yeah. So I'll probably go watch it. Will it make it to cinema? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch Jurassic World Rebirth, the sucker that I am.
I'm not up to date with the Jurassic Worlds. I lost interest after the first Jurassic World.
Yeah, I mean, Jurassic World as a remake is fine. Obviously not as good as Jurassic Park. Jurassic World 2 is less fine and definitely not as good as Lost World. But then, bizarrely, where the original trilogy shits the bed and bottles the third storyline, Jurassic World 3 actually follows through on the arc.
Really shits the bed.
And then really shits the bed, yeah. Because you go, oh, wow, you've really made a mess of that. So maybe I'll watch this one and see if they do a better job with it, maybe.
Scarlett Johansson in.
Yeah, I like her, yeah.
Directed by Gareth Edwards, I think. Gareth Edwards?
Yeah, whoever he is, lovely.
Yeah. He did Monsters, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I mean, it could be good, or it could just be more shy without Chris Pratt in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he's not great, Chris Pratt, is he? I've got another sequel, Predator Badlands. Yeah,
I saw that. Is that more going off of Prey and that?
Well, so Prey was a pleasant surprise. I thought Prey was a lot better, certainly than Predator 2, Jesus Christ. And maybe than Predators and The Predator. Prey was pretty decent. So yeah, I'll probably give Predator Badlands a go. Greenland Migration.
That sounded interesting.
Did you watch Greenland?
Why, is there no?
Yeah. So Greenland is like Jerry Butler in a disaster movie like The World After The Day After Tomorrow / 2012.
Oh, I missed that completely. I thought this sounds like a good premise. It's
okay. It's okay. It's Greenland. Nice little kill, an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's fine. Greenland Migration is what happens next. They're trying to,
that sounds less interesting.
Escape the Arctic and get back to civilization, sort of thing. I don't know, but it does sound less interesting because you never see that in disaster movies. You never see the fallout and what happens next. And where you do, they usually fuck it up. So I'm sort of
sounds hopeful.
Yeah, I'm sort of interested. Let's see if they do a decent job.
So you talked about 28 days, 28 weeks later.
Yeah,
28 years later.
I mean, I'll watch it, but it's not high on my list at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I saw 28 Days Later, pretty much when it came out. 28 Weeks Later, same. So it's been a long time since I've actually seen them. So it'd be interesting. Yeah, I might have to give a rewatch in the build up to that coming out. Stanley Boyle again, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is Boyle now. And Murphy is back in some capacity.
Yeah. Like there's been some weird
he's not the zombie that you see
in
the
thin-looking kind of
it's not him.
Cillian Murphy lookalike.
Yeah, that's just a skinny man.
It happens all the time, mate. Just always mistaken for a zombie.
Cillian.
The one you've not mentioned, Nobody 2.
Okay, yeah, Nobody was fun.
Nobody was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nobody was fun. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a straight to Netflix kind of jobby.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
The only one that's not a sequel.
Well, hang on, before you get on to not sequels,
okay,
I've got one more that is.
Go ahead.
Wake Up Dead Man. The latest Knives Out.
Ah, Oh, right, yeah. Well, they're always interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Enough. Knives Out was much better than Glass Onion, I thought.
I don't know if it's much better. It was better. But
yeah. So we'll see where he goes from there.
Yeah,
but,
I'll watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Go on then. Your originals.
Character. So originals. I say original. It's based on a book, but it's called Mickey 17. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, even. Parasite director. Yeah. Robert Pattinson starring.
Yeah.
You familiar with the film?
It came up when I did a Google. Yeah.
Offbeat sci-fi. Cloning.
Yeah.
Lots of Robert Pattinsons and things.
The Expendable.
Yeah, it looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Nolan's doing a new film, but I don't know if it's slated for 2025 or 2026.
Yeah, I don't think it's out next year. I think it would have definitely appeared on any lists I was looking up any future Nolan. Because he's got the cast lined up. Oh my God, who was he thinking?
Damon's in.
Yeah.
Hathaway's back.
Yes, and guy who plays Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's
in it as well. So that he is perhaps even the only director right at the moment, I think, where it's like people get excited about his next project.
Yeah,
I'm struggling to think of any other directors who are like, the next X project that's going on. Oh yeah,
and of course because
he's a franchise in himself.
Because Tom Holland's in, Zendaya's in.
Oh, of course,
it's not even a joke. She's in. No, I agree though. I mean, he's doing something that no other director's really doing, though, right? He's producing original epics in a way that I don't think anyone's matching up to. I know, like Villeneuve has done the Dunes, and they went to IMAX, and they were a big deal, and they made a ton of money. But it's not original. It's not original material. It's not the same, you know.
But I'd say Villeneuve was sort of the next one that you would say like, oh, actually, I would seek out the next Villeneuve film. Beyond those two, in terms of, I'm talking like big movies.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to come up with any. But yeah.
I've got Charlize Theron as well.
What? Oh, in Nolan's. I thought you were just going back to our original question. Who do you like?
No,
Charlize Theron.
Nolan's. So I've got 3 originals that I sort of noted down and thought, yeah. One was Monte Cassino.
Okay.
Which couldn't find out much about it, but it seemed like it was going to be a reasonably big production. I can't remember. I didn't write it down.
Actors?
No, didn't write it down.
Cool.
But it seemed like it was going to be a reasonably big production, and it's going to be a war film, so it sort of piqued my interest on that front. Obviously, Monte Cassino.
What?
Monte Cassino was a famous battle in World War II in Italy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go. You said obviously, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
It's not obvious.
There's a lot of films been devoted to Monte Cassino over the years. So
that's Simon shrugging.
Yeah, like I say, honestly, I looked at it and thought, oh, okay, right, a war film, that could be interesting. It seems to be a reasonably big production, so we'll see how that pans out. You've got The Brutalist, which is out in the US but doesn't land here until mid-January.
Yeah,
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
It's like 3.5 hours, though, which put me off.
Not an Odeon seats, thank you.
Yeah. But, that's about a guy an architect, I think, moving to America in the sort of 40s, 50s and, wanting to make it, but doesn't quite pan out as he expects and seems reasonably interesting. Low budget, though, only 10 million, but lauded already.
Adrian Brody, is it?
Adrian Brody, yeah. Whether that's just sort of wanky hype film festival shit or whether it's going to pan out, we'll see, but I'm interested. And the other thing is Scorsese's called The Wager. The title at the moment is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny and Murder. Now, I don't know whether that title will stick or whether they'll go for something snappier. Yeah. But it's Scorsese and DiCaprio. DiCaprio playing sort of a captain of a ship in the 1740s that gets wrecked in South America. I
mean, that sounds off type.
Yeah, interesting though.
Also not convinced it's coming out in 2025.
It was on my list.
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe that'll be more of a 2026er, but pre-production still.
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
that goes for a lot of things.
Scorsese going a bit different.
Yeah, it's based on a book by David Gran.
Yeah, never heard of it.
No, me neither.
But yeah, that doesn't mean anything. All right, Carl, you got anything else for us?
Nope.
All right, then that is all we have got. So if we move the needle for you, I don't know how we would possibly have done that. Or if we did, please do rate us, follow, subscribe.
Die Hard 2 is the best Die Hard.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Aled is going to be a new subscriber for sure. But anyway, anyone else, please do subscribe and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does buy a gym membership for the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, less deluded audience. So our Twitter and Instagram and Bluesky is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. And you can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks once Carl remembers to actually post the fuckers at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow, comment wherever you are. It really does help us, so please do that. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to get started on my New Year's movie resolutions. 1, watch more movies. 2, get to the cinema more. 3, grow the podcast audience. 4, invent a fucking time machine, apparently, so I can actually do any of this shit. Goodbye.